It was good, everybody. It's your boy Kama. You back, man. Want a little, quick little hour joint. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do a live stream tonight because had a lot going on the past week and a half, 2 weeks with my family catching the flu and work stuff and like a lot of things going on that reasons why I couldn't do put out as many videos as I would like. So like, why not? Rather than trying to do a video and fit every topic in, let's just start it live and run it like that, man. It's gonna be a call-in show too, so like I'm gonna put the I'm gonna put the I'm gonna put the link to the comments. Anybody want to join? They're more than welcome, man. It's one of them type of vibes, man. I like chatting with the people. But hey man, let's talk about this first. Let's talk about let's get OBJ. Let's get OBJ live out the way. Um, my thoughts on OBJ, right? Um, I like the idea of OBJ, right? Um, it's more of the idea of OBJ for me completely because it's like it's certain people um like OBJ within itself. There's like if you bring him on, if you bring him on, it's like a defense has no choice but to respect Odell Beckham. We can sit here and talk about ACL when he can play, things of that nature. All that's real relevant and it's fine because if he can't play, he can't play. But if you come out with lineups and got CD on one side, as much as we move CD around to be a matchup nightmare, got Gallup on one side who's getting better and better every week, coming off his ACL injury. Then you add Odell Beckham in that with the run game we got. Then you people don't realize then you can sprinkle in Pollard. You got Zeke. You can do them two back sets. There's so much. We got three really good tight ends for now. There's so much that we can mix into it that it's a nightmare for the defense. And I was more in love with the idea of it. And still to this day, it's still not over. Still not over. One thing that's, if I'm being honest, one thing that probably would like kill me with the idea of it is that we got 5 weeks left in the season. Like if you're gonna sign with somewhere, even if we're gonna play the playoff game scenario thing, I would think you still would want to be with a team and be able to get in and grasp the playbook for the at least 3-4 weeks before the playoffs start. 5 weeks, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the one thing that's turning me off. You still have to get here, grasp the offense, work with the training staff because you're not all the way back yet. Like that would be one thing. That's why I would love to sign him when the rumors first came out sooner than later because he could have been multiple weeks in with Brent Brown right now. Who know? Who knows? I mean, it's different. It's different injuries because he has torn. This is second tier on that knee, but like look at Michael Gallup, man. Michael Gallup got hurt January. Got hurt in January. He was playing what? When he came back, week 4 maybe. Like these are things that we gotta think about, man. Like Michael Gallup was able to come back week 4, so it's like I trust the coaching staff. I trust our medical staff in general. So that would be my only thing. Let's tap in early and see what we can do. But hey, man, if it don't happen, it don't happen. James Washington coming back this week. Um, with James Washington coming back, we're well within. I think James Washington is a very good addition to the team. And when people say what they say about James Washington, we're not asking James Washington to come in and be the number one, the savior. We obviously have a number one wide receiver. We have Michael Gallup. We even have Noah Brown. Like we got three tight ends. We got three tight ends. When we sometimes we run four tight end sets. We have Tony Pollard. We have Ezekiel Elliott. We're asking James Washington to come in and make a play here and there. It's the same thing we asking with OBJ. We're not asking you to come in and have 1,000-yard playoff run or something. We just ask you to be OBJ here and there. When your number called in the big moments, sometimes we might need you to move the chains, be that X factor, but that's neither here nor there, man. What else, man? Let's run it down. CD Lamb. I mean, not CD Lamb. Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown went down, man. I was never a huge fan of Anthony Brown, but Anthony Brown, one time, I get credit with this dude. He came out, he played incredible last year. One of the best seasons I've ever seen him play. This year, beginning of the year, yeah, but till the last 3-4 games, not so much. I wonder if it was. I knew he was battling a couple of injuries, so I'm not going to completely hate and say get him out of here. So, like, people play through things. So, if he played through things, I commend him for that. And he wasn't awful. He's not the worst player on the team. But see, a lot of people would hate for Kelvin Joseph, right? A lot of hate with Kelvin Joseph. For one, he hasn't played a lot. But two, it's like there's really nothing to hate. Like, he gave up a couple of touchdowns, yeah. But then at the same token, go look at the touchdown he gave up in Indy, right? He's in perfect position. It was a jump ball. It was another play when Anthony Brown went down and he gave up a touchdown as well in a different game. I can't think of what game it was. Another play when he's in perfect position. It's like Kelvin Joseph is one of those guys that, from what I've seen, the quarterback damn near has to make a perfect throw to beat him, and like that. And a lot of times that really be what it is. He's never out of position. It's rare you see him get beat badly, things of that nature. And what the difference between him and Anthony Brown is, Anthony Brown actually, when the quarterback throws the ball deep, it's like a lot of times we get bailed out by how bad the throw was because it's like, oh my God, you got to step it to Anthony Brown. Like, if we're being honest, the Green Bay game, it started to come off the rails when Anthony Brown got beat for that deep touchdown on man-to-man coverage, and Watson ran right past him. That's when it really started to fall off the rails, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, we have to be mindful, though, because, like, same way we picked on Calvin Joseph was saying, if you know the answer, the Ron Plan has played good football, but he gave up a touchdown that game, too. Like, it's like no one plays perfect, and I think people want to hate me for say this, but this version of us, our secondary, if you had Jordan Lewis, but Jordan Lewis down, but Bland is obviously the future because Jordan Lewis is a veteran. If Kelvin Joseph can play with the ability I know Kelvin Joseph can play with, I believe our secondary can and will be better going into the playoffs. See, Anthony Brown is a 6th-round pick who overachieved, right? He plays hard. He's gritty. He's not going to quit. I give Anthony Brown kudos. But Kelvin Joseph actually has the ability to be an elite corner. He can be elite. He played great. Like, shout out to Bosh Lombardi. I watched Bosh Lombardi, his film session on Bland. And he threw on some Kelvin Joseph in it too. He played great the Colts game. He almost had a pick in that game. I just think we gotta wait and see, man. Like, I believe the defense has improved. We're improving on. No one's talking about it, but Jonathan Hankins has proven to be a big. He's been a big find for us. Nice trade there. Let's talk about it, man. This linebacking core. Let's skip the linebacking core. I want to talk to somebody, like someone specifically, real quick. Damone Clark. from week one when they threw him in there, he had things to clean up, right? He hasn't played no off season really back rehabbing. Every week with this kid, man. And I was excited when we picked him up. I didn't know who he was. I'm not big college football guy, so I'm not going to proclaim to be draft guy. What I do is based off my team needs or things of that nature, just random quarterbacks. Just me and my guys, we talk about quarterbacks coming out depending on what their team needs. We talk about linebackers, corner, whatever the team needs, and I just do my research on the list of guys that's in the draft. I just do my research on them, who the top ones, watch multiple games, and pick out the ones I like best. So when I heard of Damone Clark and we drafted, I went back and looked at some of his tape at LSU. I didn't know. Like I asked the question, like, why was this a fifth round pick? Because I didn't know like the injury. Because naturally, if you watching the NFL draft, they do round one the first night, and I believe it's two and three, round two, night two, and then it's day three is during the day. But when they're announcing like pickups and stuff, there's not always people coming up to the podium. It's not like night one and night two when you're doing the first and second rounds. It's just sometimes you just see the commentator talking, pick just in on the bottom screen, boom, Damone Clark. That's how it goes. So when I seen that LSU, I go look up for him, and I'm doing my research. Like, why was this guy a fifth round pick? Like, he looked like an incredible athlete. He was balling. Like, so when I did my research and realized he was hurt, or didn't even get hurt, they discovered something on the combine. Did my research, and I'm like, yo, we got to steal. But I was thinking more for 2023. I'm one of the guys that initially thought you draft and red shirt him this year. 2023, we coming back. But since that first game, that wasn't totally clean. This guy has done this. He has done this, and it just makes our front seven more scarier, man. Like what it does is makes our front seven scarier, man. It's like he's an athlete. He's filling holes. He at the point of attack. He's physical. I've seen him hit Jonathan Taylor and knock him back instead of Jonathan Taylor getting yacked, like getting yards after the contact, knocking him back. It's I was saying we was able to blitz Anthony Barr one play. He's playing middle linebacker. Like I believe it's just like I've been saying. Sometimes you get injury, luck yourself into an injury to figure out what you got because an injury could be a blessing sometimes because had Anthony Barr hadn't went down for the games he went down for, Clark wouldn't have got the snaps that he got. Are we being honest? He wouldn't have got the snaps he got. And we don't know how that would have looked. It wouldn't have been, maybe they used him in special teams and he get 10 snaps here, 10. The fact that he played that first game, they know he gets weather the load. I think that kind of like, so to speak, like made them, I want to say it made them trust him that he can handle that workload. And now as we sit here and we got front seven for the most part is healthy. I can't think of no glaring injuries in our front seven. Secondary, we done had some injuries in our secondary, including two of our corners that we started the season with, who were starters, are out for the season. But we lucked our way into Bland. Bland been balling. He's balling all summer as well. We already knew about Kelvin Joseph. I mean, right now, if the Kelvin Joseph thing works out, we're able to reap the rewards, so to speak, of having a deep team or having a team that drafts well. And I think that was the key. And our team has been better for it, man. We got the Texans tomorrow, man. But There's a couple things I want to see with the Texans. I want to see, can we just come out? Can we just flat out finish the food? Can we just finish the food flat out? I don't want to see no. I don't want to see no. Let's not fumble around with them the first quarter going to the second quarter. Oh, it's three. Oh, it's only 6-0. It's 3-10. Like, let's not fumble around with them. I want to see us come out as a defense or offense, whoever gets the ball first. Set the tone, smack them in the mouth, smack them in the mouth, dominate the line of scrimmage. Like, if we get the ball first, we should start the game off with 2 runs. Boom, boom, boom. Punch him in the mouth. Start the game off. Play action. Start like I think we should come out extra aggressive. Let's get this game over as fast as possible. Let's get out of here. For me, the key is getting out of here with no injuries. Get going home with no injuries, no major injuries because it's football. Everybody gonna be dinged up. But let's go out here with no major injuries. Walk out here the same condition we came in here with. Let's go 10-3. Let's go home prepare for the Jaguars next week. And that's it. I don't really care about what the stats. I don't really care what the stats look like. I don't care if Dak throws 5 touchdowns. I don't care. We got 200-yard rushers. And I mean, to me, it's all about style now. I think we know we're one of the most dominant teams in the NFL, and I think we should treat them as such. So when we treat them as such, I'm anticipating us turning over David Mills a couple times. Um, let's not. Only possibility that they can stay in this game if we let Pierce, Damian Pierce, go off a little bit and get going. But outside of that, this should be a massacre. Like so, it's like they're nowhere near the team the Colts is like in terms of the Colts had a really top 5 defense, and so their defense can fight. We seen them do it with Philadelphia. We seen them have close games. I think they had 9 one-possession games, 9 one-possession games coming into our game on the season. So like we knew the Colts had it in them to fight or put up a fight for as long as they can. But this team right here, at this point, I just think they waiting on they number 1 first overall pick, and let's just go out there and just do what we need to do. Like, so I think we just need to come out and do what we need to do. What else, man? What we gonna talk about? Um, just a few things, man. Giants Eagles tomorrow. Giants and Eagles tomorrow. I just think the Giants is one of the most unlucky teams in the NFL. It seems like you know how you get closer as the season goes along, you get people back, they lose people, and it's like now I'm here. Saquon might not play. Saquon might not play. Let me pull up the injury list. I'm pulling it up now. Uh, I'm looking Leonard, the D tackle might not play if I'm not mistaken. Um, Aaron Robinson has a partially torn ACL, MCL. It's like it's it's really it's really like getting dark for the Giants. The Giants ruled 3 out. Saquon questionable. So let's read this injury report. Leonard Williams doubtful with the neck. Saquon Barkley questionable with the neck. Out. O-lineman Joshua Ezedu. Dory Jackson out. And Shane Lemieux out. That's a tall task to ask for, man. It's a tall task. Leonard Williams is a really good player, man. So on that front, man, I predict the Eagles should win this game. But then again, Daniel Jones gives the Eagles fits for some reason. We get the Eagles fits. Um, One thing I'll tell you about the Giants, they're not going to quit, and they're not going to quit, and they're not going to let Jalen Hurts just sit in that pocket. That that defensive coordinator, the Giants got to keep them in a lot of games, and he's not going to let Jalen Hurts sit in that pocket. He's not going to know where to. I could see this being, unless it's just like huge disparities in the secondary and crazy mismatches. I can see this being a game where Jalen Hurts has to run at least 10 or 15 times. Because the Giants play that style of defense. And it's like they're going to blitz you and blitz you and blitz you, and you're not going to know where the blitz is coming from. So unless he can break contain because he's good at that and throwing outside the pocket, he can get a little fishy. But like I said, but at the end of the day, it's NFC East football. Did anybody know that Washington was going to go up there with Taylor Heineke and beat them? No, so it's NFC East football. But I think the Eagles, they clearly should win. They're the more healthier team. They're the better team right now at 11-1. So they should be a division win. But if they do lose, shit could get spooky, man. If the Eagles lose, shit could get spooky. Make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I see a lot of people saying, the Eagles game ain't going to matter. The Giants game not going to matter. The last game of the season, the Eagles going to rest people. Maybe the Giants could sneak into the playoffs. But I don't think that's the case. And the reason why I don't think that's the case is the Eagles are up 2 games on Dallas right now, right? You have to think about this. If everything stays the same, if Dallas don't lose a game, the Eagles don't lose a game, right? If Dallas was to beat the Eagles, if Dallas was to beat the Eagles on Christmas Eve, right? That would mean there'll be 1 game up on Dallas, right? There'll be 1 more game up on Dallas. There'll be 1 game up on Dallas with 1 more division loss from Dallas. That means you would have to go all out the last game of the season to beat the Eagles, beat the Giants, because you can't afford to drop that game and Dallas win the last. Because if you lose that game and Dallas wins the next game, Dallas wins the division, and we all know how important home field advantage is for Philly. So like, I don't think it's gonna play out the way people think it's gonna play out, because the way I look at it is Philly's on a 2 game. They have 2 games up essentially on Dallas, right? But the way I look at it is you're really 1 game up essentially, because you're 1 game up because as long as both of us keep winning, we have a game against you head to head to knock one of them games down, or the one of the games that you up. So we have a shot. So our 1 game is going to cancel each other out. If y'all win that game and y'all go up another game, then the division's over. But if everything stays the same, y'all have. But the key is both of us keep winning. So they have no room to drop a game. Then it's like I see Devontae Maddox coming back. I would just say be careful, man. We're rushing people back. If I was the coach, I probably would have set Maddox to the game before the playoffs, because I believe this is the 2nd time going out with that hamstring injury. I'm not rushing him back just to maybe re-aggravate it, because if you go on IR for a hamstring and it's your 2nd significant hamstring injury of the season, you probably had a partial tear or something like that. That's not nothing you play with, man. I would give him as much rest as possible, because what people don't understand is because the IR window is 4 weeks, and I can put you on IR for 4 weeks, then bring you back. Just because it's been 4 weeks, or Dallas guys is going to be in it for 4 weeks, just because it's 4 weeks, I don't mean if you're at your fourth week that you're ready to play and you're 100% healthy. That just means, okay, you good enough, go out there. We believe you're good enough, go out there, do what you got to do. So, like, in that aspect, I would just say be careful, man. I didn't see their last game with Jordan Davis is back, so I know they dominated the Titans, but I didn't see the last game, so I couldn't speak to how effective he was. Um, it's like, yeah, it's a scary situation, but right now it seems like all signs are pointing towards that Christmas Eve game, which is on the Saturday. But what else? What else to talk about? I know what I want to talk about. The Eagles, not the Eagles. The Cowboys are the number one in sacks this year at sacking the quarterback, and also number one at not giving up sacks. To me, that's so damn impressive. To not only be one at sacking the quarterback, but one that not giving up the sacks is crazy. Look at that. Sacked the quarterback 48 times, but only giving up 15 sacks this year. And both of those is number one in the NFL. And it's something that we should talk about. Segue. Tyron Smith is back, man. Tyron Smith is back. Tyron Smith is back. Our left tackle is back. I just think we just getting stronger and stronger going to the finish line. And it's like, and I think this was the best. Once again, you luck your way into some injuries, man. Like injuries are sometimes can be a blessing because everybody doubted our pick in Tyler Jones, but Tyler Smith, but he's part of that line who only gave up 15 sacks. He's part of that line, man. So it's like now we get Tyron back. Is we're one of the hardest teams to defend right now. And like shout out to Dak Prescott who's on his way. He's on his way for I don't know how many straight years now. If our offense keeps going the way it's going, Dak Prescott is on his way. Book Baker's going to. Oh my God, Baker going to energize those Rams. Oh, it's over for the Rams. They got 8 losses. But Dak Prescott is on his way to being the quarterback for the number one offense. Well, maybe what's this going to be? Year 3 in a row? He was number one the year he went down when he broke his leg. He was number one last year. How long he been back? He been back 2 years. Yeah, like this is gonna be like the third or fourth straight year. I ain't gonna give my boys credit though. Yo, Baker gonna be playing for the Baker Mayfield gonna be playing for the Albuquerque Jets next year. That's what Baker Mayfield gonna be. But credit we don't get credit for a lot of things. People slept on CeeDee Lamb. Ain't no one wide receiver. He almost got 1,000 yards already. I mean, the top 3 wide receivers in the division are having really good seasons. Whether it's CD, whether it's CD, it's McLaurin, AJ Brown, they all having really good seasons. Let me see what AJ got 61 catches, 950. 61 catches, 950 for 9 touchdowns. See that? A.J. Brown. Let me see. Terry McLaurin got. They all within like 20 yards of each other. Terry McLaurin got 62 catches, 945, and 3 touchdowns. 5 yards away. CD got 69 catches. So he got the most catches, 928, 6 touchdowns. So they all within 20 yards of each other. But I mean, hopefully CD can go over 1,000. They might all go over 1,000 this week, to be honest, because the Giants don't have a Dory Jackson, and it's a lot of injuries there. But it's a lot, man. Another thing I wanted to touch on, man. This Zeke and Tony Pollard shit, right? I don't like in 2022. I don't get the dumbass fans that want to like dumbass fans saying one should start with other, or one should be getting this one. They both effective. Why break up a two-headed monster because you feel like one guy is better? I don't care if you think Tony Pollard is better. I don't care if you think Zeke better. They both very good running backs for the team. They both deserve the fucking ball. They both deserve to put pressure on the defense. We are. I don't know where we at in terms of running, rush attack in the NFL. I'm gonna look it up. I'm quite sure we gotta be. I know for a fact we top 10. We probably top 5. But why the divide? Why the divide, bro? Let them both play. It's like we got 3 really good tight ends, Dalton Schultz and 2 Peyton Hendershot and Jake Ferguson. Just because you like Jake Ferguson don't mean take Dalton Schultz off the field. The more, yeah, I mean, eventually you can't pay both, but as of right now, they going like Zeke got paid already, so it's a way that, I mean, it's a way to figure something out. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like, but when you gotta feel like when you got a dynamic rush game, there shouldn't be a rush to eliminate one of them when you don't have to eliminate one of them now. Now, if we get the way they paying running backs now, if we get to, I believe with Tony Pollard though, there's an avenue that we can keep Tony Pollard because he's gonna get his touches and stuff. There's an avenue we can keep him because the running back market isn't hot right now. Like the running back market isn't hot right now, so it's like you're not gonna. Tony Pollard is not gonna leave here without ever being a bell cow, unless you're going to a trash team. Tony Pollard is not going to leave here and go get 20 million a year from somewhere. Like that doesn't happen anymore. Damn, we that far down? Hold up. No, not rush yards. Oh, rushing. Oh, these the 10. 369. Rush yards, rushing. See, I hate going to certain sites because they don't be having the shit like they don't be having it like queued up to who got rushing 1, 2, 3. Because we had 1,700 yards rushing. Like we had 1,700 and some change rushing for the year. Only team they'll see with more yards than us right now is the Eagles have more. The Eagles got us by 100 yards. But you got to take into account the Eagles have the Eagles have their quarterback runs a lot too. So remember I was saying this. So you got the Eagles have 100 yards more than us. The Falcons got over 2,000. The Giants got us about 30 yards. Um, the Bears got 2,500 yards, which is crazy. Um, that's about it. So we're about number five on total rush yards. I'm gonna say one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, we about five. I was right. We top five in rushing overall. But hey, man, like we just gotta keep doing what works for us, man. They both can play as long as they're in a team. You exhaust both options as much as possible. It's just like in this game versus Houston. I don't want nobody. We shouldn't have to be cute. It shouldn't be a lot of ends and arounds and things of that nature. Just go out like you gotta hand the ball up. This should be a game where we just beat the will out of them. We gotta hand the ball up 45 times and throw the ball 20 to 25 times. Like just do it. Let's just impose our will on these guys. Get up out of here. We'll win. Get out here as healthy as possible, man. I got I'm debating on going live tomorrow during the game. Being honest with you, I don't really like. I'm raw when I watch the game. Like it took me a while for to be able to watch the game in the same room with my wife and kids because it's like I watch the game. I'm pretty intense. I'm yelling at the TV. I mean now I'm turned that to a little game with my kids where it's like I turned that to a little game with my kids where they love to hear me scream certain players' names like CD or Zeke. I got a little trying to when they running and screaming Zeke when the Cowboys playing stuff like that. So I find a way to turn into family fun, but I'm pretty intense. I don't know how I could. I wouldn't have no filter watching the game. That's the reason why I kind of like try to stay away from those. But I'm definitely gonna try it one day. If I try it tomorrow, would be the perfect game because we're playing Houston. We should smash them. So I don't sleep on nobody, man. It's the NFL. But I enjoy typing in with y'all tonight, man. Um, keep liking, keep subscribing. I just hit over 100,000 total views on my channel. I appreciate anybody who ever liked, anybody ever subscribed, anybody ever watched a minute of my video. I'm grateful, man. We just gonna keep going up from here. I promise you, we just gonna keep going up, man. But it's your boy Calm. I'm signing off, man. We out here.